What's happening, agents? It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and I don't normally bring State of the Game recaps to my channel, but with the abundance of time on my hands, I decided to give it a shot. Yesterday's State of the Game stream was the first one in 3 weeks and brought a few new angles to the broadcast. Now FYI, this was the 139th State of the Game address and was hosted by Hamish and Chris, and they discussed a few different topics which I will cover in this video. First up was the priority alerts portion of the stream, where they cover items that have been fixed or are on the radar to get fixed, and showing now on your screens was the change log posted to the UB forums for yesterday's maintenance. First up, there was a fix for an issue caused by flares, and for them to be stuck and clip with agents' bodies after the signal flare emote animation was interrupted. Another one was fixed an issue with the damn annoying Dark Zone perks available at base of operations notifications and the fact that it would display despite having no new perks. They fixed an issue that caused characters' faces to become distorted after cutscenes, fixed an issue with the social menu, which did not function when accessed in a down state in a pre-made group, fixed an issue where players were unable to share gear mods, thank God on that one, fixed an issue where the players that purchased Year 1 Pass were unable to activate the Technician specialization on any world tier, again thank God, and they fixed an issue where the donations tab from any projects that require gear items did not show the correct equipment. They also fixed an issue that would cause crashes when engaging enemy NPCs in co-op challenging difficulty at Lincoln Memorial. Now, not mentioned in those patch notes was Kenley College, and they've had some issues that were addressed in yesterday's maintenance having to do with the Diamondback and the chapel where you get it. You see, for some players, they were able to just go to the chapel and grab it without completing the different Kenley College levels, while others were not able to access the chapel even if they finished the 3 different missions legit. In addition, going forward, the scheduled maintenance days will be Tuesdays for the Division 2 and Thursdays for the Division, although it alternates every few weeks, and there was a brief mention that they may need to move the State of the Game day as well, but nothing further was mentioned on that topic. One of the huge upcoming changes will be to the Negotiator's Dilemma gear set and how it functions in PvP, which at this time is out of control with the grenades coming out of nowhere. The blowback talent behaviors will be changed in the future so that the grenade will not explode immediately on contact. The grenade will receive a fuse timer and is designed to give agents a bit of a chance to dodge the explosion. And finally, the UI will be reworked to indicate that an object is flying towards you. Another item that is on their radars but was not in this maintenance was the issue with unlimited special ammo in the ODZ. Invisible walls and NPCs getting stuck in missions not allowing you to progress were also briefly mentioned, but honestly, the NPC issue has been with the game since launch and really needs to get fixed immediately. There was a mention of the fact that while recording gameplay on Xbox and how it does not record audio. They said that they have found the fix and are hopeful to get it into the next update. Gray apparel items, 72 of them to be exact, were discussed and how players have not been receiving any of them, and there will be a fix to hopefully get everyone on level footing for looting these items to add to your collections. The current 4-minute raid clear time on PC was addressed, and they will be looking into removing that time as it would take longer than 4 minutes to just walk through the mission without combat thrown in. The time will need to be investigated as they don't want to completely remove everyone's times during this evaluation period. PS4 blue screen issues were talked about, and the team did reach out to the community for specifics to help hunt down this particular issue. What were you doing and what region are you in when you did get the blue screens? For the dev interview, Chris was prompted to discuss the issues with how information is revealed by Massive and what those info dumps should contain. Essentially, the entire mechanic of this side of the operation was fair game, and for those of you that received the email survey, that was the first stage of this overhaul. The intensity of the message was addressed, and that they will not have new and breaking information each and every week, as they mentioned that they know about Episode 3, but have nothing new to report about it. Now going forwards, if there is really nothing new to report in terms of the game, the community staff will try to post that news prior to the State of the Game, so that viewers will not be disappointed if they tune into the broadcast only to be underwhelmed, which I guess is a good change. Now I'll discuss this more and give you my feelings once I finish covering this address. Possibilities for future show formats were mentioned and how they may include production timelines and actual breakdowns on how certain portions of the game development cycle move from concept to reality. The question was raised if they should be included in the State of the Game address or in something else. Even simple articles or social media blasts were thrown out there in place of the State of the Game that had nothing to report. Just jumping in here with my thoughts on everything that was discussed, and for me, it really comes down to the huge elephant in the room, that being Episode 3. I've often felt that the timeline for releasing new content has been much too far apart, and their current method of releasing 1 or 2 new missions with a couple classified missions tacked on, it's just not working. Will Episode 3 contain the Raid, a Survival S-style game mode, or how about some new replayable content? I mean, we're fast approaching the end of the year, and it is really starting to create some anxiety within the community. Will Episode 3 be a huge new content drop to keep us going into Year 2, or will we be waiting for the new paid DLC to get something of that scale? While we're on this topic, I'd also like to throw out another issue I have with the Division game channel, and that I don't think it is completely utilized to its fullest potential. I mean, we do have the gameplay streams and the state of the game when it's scheduled, but other than that, it remains largely unused. I mean, there's so much more that could be done with that platform, from how about flying in a guest streamer to sit in the studio and play while answering questions, or actually scheduling for streamers to be featured on the channel at specific times and dates. I mean, this kind of breaks from their norm of just randomly rating somebody in the Division directory. How about displaying worthy YouTube content by playing it non-stop on the channel? I mean, you could even host friendly PvP tournaments. How about showcase employees of Massive by actually showing them at work? Kind of like when Jeremy streams his art render streams, but for other members of the team. I mean, the list goes on, but ultimately, that platform lays turned off and dormant way too much. Alright, rant over. Getting back into the state of the game, and a new segment featuring new hire George entitled Developer Q&A was unveiled, where he sits down one-on-one with a dev and asks them a very specific question about the Division 2. Now I'm going to show you these 2 clips and then be back for a brief bit before finishing up this recap.
I'm Trick Dempsey. I am a senior game designer on The Division 2. I mostly work on bounties and in-game content and invasions and projects and that sort of thing.
Amazing. So as you've already mentioned, you've seen a lot of the questions as well. We've had a lot of questions regarding Cassie and how she works and what does she do within the game.
So Cassie Mendoza is the gunrunner. She appears on a day-and-a-half and daily cycle and gives a wide variety of weapons and gear and stuff to the player available in her shop. She's tightly related to Jared Nash, the Snitch. In order to find Cassie Mendoza, you have to speak to the Snitch, and he will tell you either where she currently is or where she will be appearing next. However, she operates on a schedule that says for 32 hours, she is relocating. She can be found nowhere inside of the world, and then for 24 hours after that, she will be at a set location for that full 24 hours. This 32-hour, 24-hour system alternates constantly, which is really convenient because a week is 168 hours long and it divides into it evenly. So she's gone for a day and a half, she's up for a day, and ad nauseum on repeat.
My name is Nikki and I'm a senior game designer on The Division 2.
So the reason I'm speaking to you today is you would have seen that there's a lot of discussion about 3 blueprints that were removed in 2026. Is there anything you can tell me about that?
Yeah, those blueprints that we removed were part of the original implementation for upgrading your specialization sidearms. Because you get them at low gear score, we wanted to give you an option to upgrade those. So that was what those blueprints were for. But later we redesigned how the specialization skill trees worked, and we decided to basically make the upgrading part of that. So those 3 blueprints are just completely redundant because you don't need them anymore. They're not used, so we just hit them for now.
Overall, the way information is distributed to the gamer base needs to be looked into and turned into a scheduled and organized segment that we can subscribe to. I mean, we need more interaction and the ability to have hard questions answered in an honest and timely manner. I'll go ahead and end this one right here, but would appreciate you taking the time to rate the video with a huge thumbs up. If you want more LtBuzzLitebeer and my continued coverage of the Division 2 in your lives, make sure to pound that sub button and click on the bell icon to receive all notifications from my YouTube channel. Also, look for me over on Twitter. Buzz merch is now available on Teespring, and I did start a Patreon page to fund my efforts to move over to full-time content creation. Until my next upload, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.